I want to know what's next for Tyrese, obviously, what this injury means for Indiana and himself. But also, does this taint OKC's championship at all?
No,
No,
Hell no.
no.
no. Now we're gonna have
Really?
questions.
We have
No,
questions, tainting questions, are like because it's more of like a what if he was playing well, what if they like you're not
And
gonna
players don't get
disrespect.
into that.
No,
no.
we don't want to
Okay.
disrespect. Like those boys won a lot of games, and if you told us OKC, I know I'm not saying that. You're just asking the question.
No, no.
You're
In
asking,
fairness, what's the one conversation that's often had about your guys' 2016 championship?
If
The only
Andrew,
Andrew
person I
Bogut,
ever heard bring that up is Stephen A.
but my
yeah,
The
point is,
Draymond game five?
no, but that's different
yeah.
because they
Andrew
had two.
Bogut was way more important than
Yeah, but
Draymond Green in
they
that
had two more
series.
games. They had two
Okay.
more games. They had two more games. Three more games after or yeah, two more games after Game 5. So they
Okay.
had ample opportunity there.
What nobody
Okay.
brings up the fact that Kyrie bust his knee the year before, or that Kevin got hurt,
Oh,
his
trust me, I
shoulder hurt.
remember all that. Let's not
No,
dive
but
into
but
that.
but
Let's
Anyways,
but
keep on the Tyrese and
listen,
the injury.
my point really quickly with OKC. No, it does not taint. Like it
Okay.
wasn't like they were down by 20 and then all of a sudden he goes out. It happened. They fought. They battled. But such respect to OKC in that space. I
Mhm.
understand that the what ifs. We're gonna have those what if moments because he was playing well.
Yep.
Anything can happen. That's it. Is the what ifs. What kind of game would we have saw? Not that Indiana was going to win.
Got it. So now, how do you see this for Tyrese in the Pacers?
So, Allie, I hate to be right on these type of things because it's unfortunate, but this is the second time that I gave my advice, my opinion, and I was right about it, right? And I get it. I told Kevin Durant in 2019 to his face at his house, "Hey, bro, you have no reason to come back. Don't be out there tripping with yourself." You know what I'm saying? He wanted the pressure of being in the finals. He went out there on the strained calf. He tore his ACL. I gave my
No,
same advice.
Achilles.
you
Achilles,
said
excuse me.
yeah, yeah.
I gave my same advice right before Tyrese Haliburton decided to make his decision when Shams dropped the report that he strained his calf. And I'm not sitting up here trying to be a guy that's like, oh, I told you so in a moment like this, because no, it's the biggest stage. You want to be out there. Like, I had to sit out a fucking game 7 and watch KG, Kobe, Paul Gasol, Paul Pierce go at it when we was up 14 fucking points going into the fourth quarter and Ron Artest had 20 and 10. I remember every single play like it was yesterday, right? I get it. But at the end of the day, you think about it, you make that decision, and if you're the Pacers, you got to think about it. You invested $200+ million in Tyrese Haliburton, right? Like I think he got the supermax if I'm not mistaken, right? And so now you have to do a better job if you're the Pacers. And I'm not throwing shots because they are a great organization, great people. I just think if a doctor, Bob Myers said this, he just didn't understand. If a doctor told you that this injury takes 2 weeks minimum to heal, how was he out there playing? Right. And so when it happened, I'm like, fuck, here we go again. But it's part of the sacrifice. I applaud him for wanting to be out there. But now it probably did set your franchise back about 2 years. Because
Easy,
even when, huh?
easy 2 years.
Yeah. So,
I think it's 1 year. I think it's next year because he would be no, and I say this, he would be available to play most likely at the end of the season if you say a full year. You're not going to bring him. Just hear me out. You're not going to bring him back in the postseason. So basically he's going to sit out that full year. So then he's able to then have a full summer of working out, training. So he starts the season. He starts the season. Yeah, he's going to be rusty. He hasn't played a game in a year, but like by the end of the season, he'll be back to who he is, in my opinion, right? So then now they can start going back in the direction that their franchise was happening.
I think one thing we're not taking into account is like, let's look at the team and let's say, you know what, the Indiana Pacers are great. They did something amazing. I saw this like a little tweet. They actually traded and got back their pick for next year, right? Their first round pick for next year. Secondly, we have to talk about Miles Turner, Obi Toppin, Neesmith, Nemhard. Like, are you going to just run this same team back again? Like, what do you do with these guys? Like, are you just going to be mid? Are you going to try to rebuild, get somebody younger? Like, what do you do? How do you approach next season without the main piece?
Well,
It's
how
like
do
trying
you
to
get
make pizza with no
Shannon? Before
sauce.
you say, add some context because how do you get better if you're the Pacers? So, like for example, who's out there? What do you go out there and get? Because you can't say like, oh, I want to go get a backup point guard. You have that in fucking T.J. McConnell on a great
Right.
contract.
And
Right.
Nemhart.
And them hard. So it's like I get what you're saying. Like you see all these teams retooling, but I want like if you're gonna say that, and I'm not questioning you. I just
No,
want
no,
to
no,
know
totally. Yeah,
what
yeah.
what player out there can you go get right now? Like, would you break up a core group of great of role players to go out and get who?
Well, what I would say is what I would say this. Let me just real and then Channing, I want to hear your thoughts. Think
Yeah,
about who
yeah.
you get. When you look at how Boston has retooled in the last 5 years, right, where they had Isaiah Thomas, then they had Kyrie Irving, then they got to this, they were like, we're gonna go Porzingis and build around Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown. So their team has looked different over the past 6 years and leading to their championship team. So if you have to retool this and Obi Toppin has to go. You got to go. That's the ultimate test of a GM. Can we retool and add more guys and like tweak this to keep around our core? So yes, the iteration of this team in 18 months is going to look different, but that's where you get to see how good your GM and president are.
Yeah, I just think you have to address either you're gonna have a conversation, and I think the one guy that you gotta upgrade, or you have to have a conversation with and see what his mindset is Miles Turner. I think he was great for them until he wasn't. Now, obviously, OKC is a different beast, but you need to upgrade that position. Like I felt like Siakam kept up to it, what he had to do. Obviously, Obi Toppin and those guys had up and down games, but they come off the bench, all good. Then you go to like TJ, who balled out of control, and now you're starting to look at your starters of like, okay, who just gave me the minimum of what they were, right? And this is not. I like Miles Turner. I like
Can
him
we
a lot.
fire up the conversation of Miles Turner to LA again? I'm just
For the
kidding.
last
I'm
5
just kidding.
years.
We're not diving into that. I
No,
do
no,
want
no,
to
no.
get
But
to
I'm
the
just
point
saying
there.
he would be the guy that you would look at to see like how can you get a rim roller? How do you get a lob threat? How do you get a and big men are a absolute diamond right now. So who knows? I'm just saying, and I'm not saying trade him. I'm just saying either have a conversation with him, or that to me would be the place that you would upgrade the Pacers.